Hello and welcome to interview with Chrissy Joy, who is the winner of the second international trick dog competition. And today we wanted to find out more about Chrissy and about your teammate Beasley. So we'll start with introduction. I'm Olga Jones. I'm director of Dog Talent Association. We were hosting and running the competition. And Chrissy, please introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, it's so wonderful to finally see you face to face. I know we've had lots of exchanges throughout the competition of emails and submissions and questions and things like that. So it's wonderful to finally meet you. I'm Chrissy Joy. I am over in the US. I actually live in Maryland. And when I'm not doing dog training, I am a full-time studio canine trainer. So I work my dogs on set for TV, film, and commercial work. And I am absolutely maybe one of the biggest fans in the world of trick dog training. So I love teaching tricks. And so when I saw that this challenge and set of challenges were coming out with Dog Talent Association, I thought it would be what a wonderful time during COVID to just have something to keep me motivated through the cold months here. And the fact that COVID really wasn't helping us get out and about with our dogs and feel like we were progressing. So this was an in-home challenge that I was definitely, I thought I was up for, and then I realized how in-depth and how challenging it really, really is, especially with all of the great competitors out there. So, so I've been training dogs for only about 6 years, believe it or not. I started training horses before I ever trained dogs, which included,
Wow, because I also train horses.
that's right.
Gosh.
I'm a Bachelor of Science degree in equine training, and we also did trick training. I've always wanted to work animals on set, including horses and dogs. But coming out of that, we had a recession here, and it was difficult to get a job. So I kind of transferred my energies over into dog training, and I adopted Beasley. He was one of 14 puppies left in a garage, and
Oh,
I rescued him as a puppy, and the mom is feral and was feral to the end of her life. And Beasley came home, and
how old was he when you found him or when he was
he
rescued?
was, I think, 9 or 10 weeks
Oh
old.
gosh, really, really little
A
one.
very big litter of 14. And so it was one litter of 14 puppies.
What a
Um,
start in life and end up as a
yeah. And
champion.
he,
And I think
believe
he
it or not,
also,
he has inflammatory bowel disease. So he deals with a lot of struggles on his own, and he's actually on lifelong prednisone. So he has his own hurdles. And I think that's just another way to prove that you can really do anything you can. And especially taking care of yourself from the inside out is kind of where it starts. He changed my life. I deal with anxiety and depression. I used to kind of keep that a secret, but I found it to be a fantastic platform to meet new people and to encourage others to seek help. Beasley was a lifesaver for me at a time where I really had trouble functioning in day to day life. I didn't know how much I needed him until he came into my life. So we started
I
trick
think you're
training.
so brave. I think you're so brave being open about it. And I think that's kind of came across your bravery, courage, openness, and actually the ability to link with people and engage people personally came through all of your submissions and competition. And that's why they were so engaging, because
Thank you so much.
you
Thank
were
you.
not you were not pretending to be somebody different. You were yourself, and you were on the journey, and you could see the journey and how you two connect together. And it was real, not played, not on camera. It was real, and
Thank
that
you.
was one of the really special things about your team.
Wonderful. That makes me feel so good because I will say, we have this persona on social media to be perfect. And one day I just went to the training facility and I put the camera on, and I think the video is still on my Instagram. And I said, guys, I have to talk to you. I haven't been honest. I have depression. I have anxiety. I am not perfect. And I had a really honest conversation, and the outpour of support that came from that made me realize that this is something that needs to be done. And a dog offers a beautiful connection to so many people out there that can relate, because the dog is a great way to kind of spur conversation or make you laugh or
Yeah,
smile or feel love and
yeah.
comfort. And so Beasley does that. That's who he is. I mean, besides cheese, his next favorite thing is relationships. So relationships mean a lot to him. He'll take a relationship and greeting someone he knows over anything in the world. So he has been an excellent advocate to help kind of be us on board. And I will say your tasks that you put us through in such a great and unique and creative way gave us a chance to put a purpose behind everything that we did, so that maybe this video could be used for something more in the future. And that, you know, how can we make it so the tricks make sense, which I love having tricks with a purpose.
Yes.
And thinking outside of the box, but also how can we maybe make a story out of this so that every chapter kind of provides something uplifting for whomever might stumble across it.
That's a great idea. I mean, when we were designing the competition, yes, it was hard time, COVID, and we wanted it to be uplifting. We wanted to give people some goal, particularly as the kind of Christmas finished, and but the lockdown started everywhere. So it's kind of the start of the year was quite grim, so to speak. We wanted to give people a focus, but also we felt actually it's a perfect opportunity to make friends, connect people across the globe, get to know each other, and also kind of to challenge yourself, because you can challenge yourself from home by kind of actually trying to look at things, how you do things. And so yes, we wanted to give a stretch, and we always design a competition as a training opportunity. So we started with the more simple tasks, and gradually we're adding the difficulty. Where we had one program in mind, but then we adjusted it depending how people were coping, because we wanted to carry people with us and making sure everyone can cope, and obviously everyone is doing at different speeds. So yeah, we try to adjust it and help everybody to actually feel that you grew and you achieved something. So I'm really, really happy that you feel the same. It really did, because we really
it really did help.
We put lots of effort in that.
Yes. It did. It allowed everyone to look at each challenge as an opportunity to grow off of the one before it. And, you know, if you were to ask me what my most challenging one was, the most challenging task for me was the prop one. And I love working with props, but it was the worst thing that could possibly happen. We had an ice storm and the prop I was using broke. So I couldn't get another prop.
What if it wasn't a secret? What words were you?
No worries at all. I had a box I designed that could hold weight, but also you could remove everything and have the dog work inside the box. And I ended up, a lot of people did box, so I'm kind of happy I didn't do the box in the end. But it broke in a way that I couldn't fix it, and I did not have the means, or I couldn't go out and get it. My husband's on deployment, by the way. So I couldn't just like go. I have a toddler also, by the way. And so I chose a coin, and I had to completely revamp what we did and just do it in like 24 hours. So I love the fact that it was like, think quick, think on the spot, think out of the box. Some of the competitors did really impressive things, like doing things without you in the room. Wow. Like, so kudos to all the people that took it to the next challenge, because I think you're just going to see over the next few years with Dog Talent Association, how creative and how much people are going to push their envelope to shape like the new way of doing tricks, which could be really, really beneficial for everyone and how they train. But
no, I think the prop was meant to be a challenging, and I think that was kind of, we put it in the middle. And we sort of sandwich it with a slightly easier task before and slightly easier task afterwards to get people to recover. But I think the reason why we went for the prop is we often buy things for specifically for dog training, and lots of equipment, this and that. But actually, lots of us, we've got props around us, and we wanted people to actually start recognizing the prop could be anything. Could be a lamp, could be anything, could be a coin, as you said, and so it was really tough. The kind of full background for those who haven't been in a competition, the task was to come up with as many tricks as you can using one prop. So it's and also we were welcoming to encouraging people to add difficulty by adding distractions, distance, out of sight, and etc. And yes, you guys pushed it to the limit.
We really tried to. I think one of the things that I still laugh at this moment is the video where I show you all me taking a giant bag of dog food and spilling it all over the floor. Like I was like, they are going to kill me when the dog comes in for class and they're just glued to the floor sniffing. Because the facility that is my family, BFF Pet Services, I just spilled an entire bag of dog food in there, and then I blindfolded to do tri-ball, and which was a fascinating. So I have to say, the challenges you put us to, we sometimes didn't have time to practice. It was just like, let's see if we can do it. And wow, I was blown away by that. The way you set up your challenges really helped Beasley and I be like, I would walk away going, I can't even believe we just pulled that off. He is amazing. Our bond is amazing. He trusts me. And that stuff we just said, we're going to try it. I hope it works, but that was the beauty of building that relationship there.
No, absolutely. And I think the relationship is the fundamental in tricks training. The relationship and the bond you have is the fundamental. It's not about repetition and practicing again and again, because yes, you can do it and get to a certain level, but actually that's not, it's just a stage thing. Mm-hmm. It's when you can go for it and just do it on the spot. I think that's when it really shows your partnership.
And you have to really pay attention to your dog's energy. Like for me, taking Beasley and saying I'm going to film it all today is not healthy for him, and I don't think that's a great way to look at it. So, taking it in bite-sized pieces and funny enough, this last task that we did, I was between Maryland, New Jersey, and then I went all the way out to Iowa and all the way back. And this is all work related. And I am stopping.
With the filming. With the set,
that's right. And I remember I was telling you that I had to stop at all these Dunkin' Donuts with Wi-Fi to try to upload the video. But I was like, I am going to get this video in. Putting
and you did it. And you did it. I was watching it like, yes, come, yes, well done.
I was sweating that one. But finding the best way your dog works was really informative, because by task 4 or 5, we had really come into a groove where I knew how he best worked and at what time of day. And these are things that I maybe wasn't aware of before. So I learned what his learning pattern is best. It's not in the morning. He's like, no. And doing on at once was flooding and overwhelming. So it really helped me learn that actually for Beasley, shorter and smaller sessions. And he's like, I got it. Like that worked way better for him.
The connection is flaking a little bit.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, yes, okay, because the connection was coming and going, because like, oh, please stay. But it was interesting. So one of the things we really want to achieve in dog talentization is a kind of take the trick training to the next level. Often people think about tricks as something in between the kind of serious dog sports, something which is kind of neither here nor there. And quite a lot of trick titles is alert type thing, which kind of dumb down the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But I think there is so much potential to tricks because, tricks is so expressive. You can, as you showed, you can actually express yourself, you can convey message, you can engage people so deeply using trick dog. Because the dogs,
I found that
connect to people on a different level. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'll tell you, I'll be very honest. I found back chaining to be one of the most useful things in the challenges was, teaching him the end result and working backwards so that he could do the whole gambit together. But I will also say that I also learned on some things I need to work on. This was a great experience to say, that's great that, it's not about how I did everything perfectly or wonderfully. I also learned that there's a few of those things I need to work on, such as, our heel work is not super strong. That has never been a focus of mine. And, it was great feedback from the judges to say, if you really want to get it right, you need to do it this way. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not an area that I excel in. But it's something that was brought to my attention so that I can possibly get better at it. And so I felt that coming out of this too, there was a lot of learning as far as like, there are challenges, that there's tricks that I was like, it's on the list. We never even thought of trying that. And now we can try it. So
Yeah.
I felt that was a really great experience as far as like, I've walked away saying, okay, there's certain things that I'm definitely weak in, but I need to embrace that to be a better trainer.
And it was for us, it was so good to see how supportive the whole group was. Yes, you were very competitive. Yes, absolutely. Everyone wanted to win, and you did your best, everyone. But at the same time, when we were sharing the winning entries, there was so much supportive comments. And actually, by watching and looking at how other people did it, you learn a lot. And I think that's what I feel the future of the Trick Dogs training is, how we can take it to the next level. Because
Yeah.
my vision to have trick dogs as a separate sport, like we currently do with the dog dancing and etc. There are some dogs, but I think we can get trick dogs to the same level and be recognized as a sport. So
Absolutely. And I wanted to also make a note that in the task we did of the first responders, that we utilized our
yes, I want to talk about this. This is actually was one of the probably highlights for me from the whole competition, because you took a task the task was about about helping. So and you've chosen a very topical task and very courageously involving so many people which are on the front line, actually involved in the current pandemic situation, and you did it so brilliantly and so specially, and also you were using this video not just because of a video for competition, but then you use this video for fundraising. Right. And I think that's, so talk about this task and how you went about it, because it was I felt for me it was personally highlight of competition.
So I feel that I don't know how like religious people are, but I feel like God really spoke through me in this moment, and something bigger was growing out of this task. Something started to fall together in my mind, and I was like, man, this is crazy, but if I can get this to happen, it would be amazing. It was right around Christmas, and it was between Christmas and New Year's. We had just a few days, and within 24 hours, I had all of the people lined up to help. And this was a community effort. This was I just went out on the community. I said, hey, is anyone available that are firefighters, that are EMTs, that are police officers? And within 24, maybe 48 hours, I had more people than I could possibly ask for that wanted to be a part of this project. And they knew it was for the competition, but they also knew my goal was to do a sort of community piece that would tie to some sort of organization to help raise money for the families and the first responders. And so I have a friend who helped with videography a little bit. He helped with a couple of the clips so I could actually teach Beasley in the moment. It's hard to do both. And I have to tell you, I just showed up with Beasley to the firehouse, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to do, but my thought is Beasley in the fire truck, Beasley jumping over that, Beasley let's just do this. Okay, let's organize everybody and let's just see what we get. And no practice, just let's do it. And I think that was such a testament to Beasley's capability that people underestimate about him, is that he's like, okay, let's do it. He's a very trusting dog in that respect, and trust that I put him in a safe place. So we were able to get everything together in just a few days. And actually we have a little local newspaper right now that has been circulating the video. We've made over $500 for Hope for Heroes. And we hope to have this video have a longer lifeline and get more news media, awareness. And now I feel like I'm in a wonderful place with Hope for Heroes, to the point where I look forward to doing more things that can help raise them money, all because of Dog Talent Association. This would have never happened. So it was
it was a trigger, but it wasn't your mind. So it was, I think you saw it as an opportunity, and it's created a spark, but it was you who took it forward. And I said, it was so different people react differently when there is a kind of situation as we are at the moment. Some kind of close and moan, complain. but people like you, aspiring people, actually find the opportunity to give something back, inspire others, and also because it was involved the whole community. It was and again, watching the video, the firefighters and etc., they actually genuinely felt like they enjoying it. I felt like they had fun. It was a special thing for them, and I think it's important to produce the video, but also I felt it was cheered them up greatly, being part of this kind of a bigger project and being recognized for what they give to community.
And they had never seen trick dogs before. So this was so exciting for them to see it. And I'll tell you right now, the 911 dispatcher girls were by far the most excited. And so it was so fun. We literally went in their office and we had 10 minutes until their shift started. And we had to just go for it. What are we going to do? And so on the spot, I had to think about jumping over the legs, turning the chairs and having it all in right time. And nothing better than instant camaraderie. So I feel like it's something I'll remember forever. And I just hope it gets good traction so we can have some good donations.
No, absolutely. And I think, it's, we also sort of felt that currently we're sort of trying to do the same sort of similar sort of thing, but looking at the environment. So we're launching the Trick Dogs action for the environment, which we would like everybody to take part. I think environment is another area which is kind of individually people feel they're powerless to tackle, but together and with the help of Trick Dogs, as you know, they're so engaging to so many people. So I think they will be the bridge for a great way to communicate to people about environment and the challenges. So
and bring awareness. It's a great avenue for children. Children sometimes don't know how to express themselves, but if you can show a dog picking up litter and putting it into the trash can, that's like a level that they can really relate with and get excited about, but also teaches them awareness about what's important to do for your community and your environment around you. It's a very tangible thing for a child to absorb. And so when we do live shows, whenever we did before COVID, we always targeted anti-bullying and self-esteem through our younger audiences. And so I'm excited to see how this challenge pans out. I'll have to make sure I take a look at it.
Me too, because I think it's I haven't seen that done before, but I feel I think it will work. We thought through, and yes, I think it will be an amazing thing to achieve together again internationally, with the help of Trick Dogs, because they do connect on different level. And if message didn't, sometimes if you put the message in the same way, it kind of gets lost and kind of gets ignored. But with help of dogs, I think we can get the message through.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. Anyway, if you are interested about the environmental thing, have a look on the Dog Talent Association website and Facebook page. But leaving that aside, I want to talk about, so obviously we've got, I want to show you your rosettes, waiting for your address. So yes, that is,
oh my gosh, whoa!
It's as International Trick Dog Champion 2021, so
that's beautiful. It's bigger than Beasley.
Absolutely. It's made by the one of the top UK designers, rosette designers, which specifically designed it for the competition. He's very passionate about trick dogs. So, and this is also obviously you won the competition overall, but also importantly you won the rescue dog plus. So that's the rescue dog rosette.
That is beautiful. I can't wait to see this in person and see all the detail that went into it.
Absolutely. So do send your address and they will be posted. So what I wanted to talk now is about kind of your future. Obviously you achieved so many things already. Looking at your CV, it's amazing with the stunt champion and etc. It's amazing. What are you hoping to do, say, in the next couple of months?
So we have a really, really exciting project that I can't say anything about, but you'll find out soon. And I'm more than happy to talk to you about it when I can. And I think
Mhm.
that's going to probably say a lot just by announcing it. So I can't wait to share it with you. But besides that, funny enough, right after we're done here, I'm driving to New York City because I have a spot for a commercial tomorrow. So work is
Oh,
continuing, which I'm always grateful for. And I actually just did a COVID test in my house because they send us a COVID test to our home to
yeah.
ship out. It's just the craziest thing. But moving forward, my goal is this. My goal has always been this: continue to inspire people, continue to have them believe in themselves and they can push themselves no matter what type of dog they own, no matter what situation they're in. And also, I really hope that COVID simmers down a little and allows us to get back in for our live shows and live performances, because I really feel that's where I've been really able to reach audiences and make a
Mm.
change on a big and small level. I love when I can have the kids be excited and talk to an adult about their dog that's maybe giving them some issues. And I've actually had it where I've been told, like, hey, my daughter's here, but she has severe anxiety, but she'd love to talk to you. And taking that moment to just connect with people again. I really miss connecting with people about and surrounding dog training and trick dog training, especially. It's a great mental break for your dog that maybe does some more refined things, such as obedience or certain sports. It's a great mental break for you and your dog, and it teaches so much about confidence and body awareness and creativity. So um, that's
And
kind of
also
where.
emotional intelligence, because people learn to, yes, read another being on
Yes,
a
and
very different
my
level.
next challenge that I would like to continue training wise is to continue teaching Beasley the game of memory. We just
Mm.
started it. It took a few months before Dog Talent Association. Before I joined the task, we had been practicing, but I'm teaching Beasley to actually read, notice shapes and colors on a card, no scent or body cue, and putting
Mhm.
him face down. And then I lift one, I want him to know where to find the
Yeah.
match. So it's a test of memory, true memory, um and teaching the dog to use a visual cue and for themselves instead of referring to the body language and
Yeah.
scent that they typically do. So I'm really
Yeah. Which
excited
is
to do that. But hopefully in the end, everyone says, well, what are you going to do, with this? And, or what, I think this allows me to just have a broader audience, to reach more people of the same thing that I've always wanted to do, which was just keep inspiring people and to be a tangible connection for people who may have questions, or maybe struggle with anxiety and
mm,
depression themselves. And I would love to share stories and connect with more people.
yeah. Um, and that's so those who in your last task, you actually touched quite a lot of deep subjects, like bullying and depression, and yes, you're probably not a morning person either, so your feet with Beasley
Yeah.
that's needing time to wake up.
Yeah, I
um,
know. Yeah.
um, but it's and I think it's great when you watch somebody. Sometimes when you talk to people about it, people still remain closed, but when they see it, sometimes that's when people open up and actually relate to themselves, because you give them a bit of space to reflect, see for themselves and reflect. And I think that's a great way of kind of engaging people on the very deep, on the deeper level.
And
So
making it more tangible. It's something that, you could be struggling with too, and you might feel alone because you typically do feel alone, and you're not alone really, but you don't know how to talk to anybody about it. It kind of normalizes it a little bit more and says, like, I'm here too. Just because what my social media looks like does not mean that I'm that person. Like that I'm a regular human being. I have horrible mornings and days, and I want to get out of bed. And I will say, at the end of the last task, I bawled my eyes out on the beach with Beasley. And that's part of the blooper reel that I put at the very end, because I was like, this clip of just us sitting together on the beach, like, it'll be a memory for the rest of my life. I'm going to start crying now. So it's just meant so much to me that everything you had done had brought us to that moment. And I can't thank you enough.
well, thank you, because so it was a journey that you shared, your own journey that you shared with others, and you
Yeah.
managed to take people through with you. Oh, don't cry.
I know. Well, he's been so special in my life, and the fact that we've had this pedestal to be able to reach people and to try to make a difference is just seeing our hard work kind of come to fruition, and to be surrounded by so many other talented people that came together for the right reasons to support each
Yeah.
other and not have hateful or hurtful comments. Like, this is the direction I would love to see the dog industry go to. So just to feel that complete surrounded feeling from Dog Talent Association, which is a worldwide international competition, gave me such an uplift for the change of the dog community moving forward, that we can really all be here for each other. And so I felt that Beasley and I came together in such a wonderful way, but the competitors were just so supportive, and I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next few years.
No, absolutely. And I think I do, yes, the dog community, dog trainer community is varied, but I think there is certainly space for more joint support, sharing, and genuinely supporting each other rather than the competitive element. And think you know better. I think it's because each of us can learn from each other. Each of us got strengths, and yes, it's being open about it, and willing to learn. I think that's what makes it actually interesting, because
Right.
no day is the same with dog training. Every day is different. So,
No,
and that's
we have bad days and we have good days. And I think just sharing it and being more open about our not successes is so important too. And, there's some things that some of those competitors were just fascinating in watching, that I'm like, Beasley and I just aren't there yet, but we have our other strengths, and,
yes, absolutely
on this. So I thought that was really neat. And I learned a lot by watching the other competitors, because I was like, you guys have some challenges that I definitely should work on, because they were amazing to watch. Really, really amazing to watch.
But it's also interesting, obviously, each dog has their own personality, and I think that's what we really strongly believe in.
Yes.
And being able to understand and really feel through this personality and choose the tasks to fit it, or how to help the dog to express their talent, that's what makes it a successful partnership. And it was interesting. So different competitors and different teams choose different route, because
Right.
it's a reflection of them, of a human and the dog, and their personality and how they connect together. And as a result, though the task was the same, the outcome and the journey they went through is totally different.
Right.
And
I
that's
think
what that was.
it's such a great description, because Beasley's a very serious guy. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot in life that makes him super excited, but he's a very serious worker. So it's a lot of people, and especially on set, they're like, they forget he's a dog. They're like, oh, can you tell the actor? Oh, I mean, Beasley.
Yes.
Because they just forget. They're like, he's just like another human being in the room, where other dogs are way more expressive because they're really excited to jump and do all these different things. And he loves precision. The more precise the trick, the better. That's his jam. So I think it's like really about understanding your dog, and then saying, how can we, in this short amount of time, how can we use our assets to best develop this next task? And I can't tell you how much I love the 3-week windows you gave us sometimes. That was very, very helpful.
Yes, to kind of give a little bit of breathing space, but also it's an opportunity to kind of take stock. So that was our sort of idea, was to, rather than rushing through,
Right.
give people kind of time to reflect, rather than necessarily plan straight away the next entry. Think about what worked, what didn't work, and also, yes, kind of sometimes you hang around and it sort of settles.
It does. It took about 1 week of the 2 to just think. And then
Yes.
by the end of that first week, I wanted to have a game plan to shoot and film the next week. But I really allowed myself to not feel pressure, let it sink in. And, I do lots of driving. So luckily, lots of thinking, and just kind of, let's just think through this process. Cause I do, since I love production and film so much, I love to have a purpose behind videography. So I love to create a story. And so I think that was like, one of the coolest challenges was like, okay, I started to jot down tricks I could think of. But then I was like, how can I build a story around this to give you guys an experience to watch more than just clips? And And so that was really kind of a neat way to turn it around. And I loved it when you guys asked for a story behind it, because I was like, that's it. I love that.
Because and I think that's what people missing when they're doing tricks, and I think that's kind of in the future. The future of the trick training is a story, because it's tricks by themselves is just actions. But when
right, it's not a circus. You know, you want to have some purpose behind the tricks that we do.
Absolutely.
And I have plenty of tricks that are ridiculous and really don't have a purpose. But I do like to create a reason behind it, because it also gives me kind of gratification in the work that I'm doing has a reason behind it to hopefully help others and inspire others. Because I just feel like, and if I could just say this one thing, when I'm done on this planet, and I've said it to many people, it's not about like the money I have or how much stuff I've bought and stuff. It's about the impact I've made for the future generations. And by attaining something as such a high accolade as this one, now I feel like it's just going to help me have more people to hopefully have that kind of impact on. And that's what really matters.
And that's so true. And that's so true. And I think it's a very hard goal, but it's the one that actually will carry people and you through various bumps and ups and downs in life. If you feel there is an ultimate goal and a current bump doesn't matter, that's what help people to continue and carry on. So, and kind of to finish off, I just wanted to ask, what would be your suggestion or advice to those who love their dogs and they would like to kind of get into trick training or would like to sort of grow together? What would be your sort of general advice?
So first and foremost is, if you're home with your dog and you're like, I just really want to get involved, but I don't even know how to, I do highly suggest find out what motivates your dog and find out what makes them excited to work for you. So whether it's food or toys or things like that, find what excites them. If you don't know the basics of dog training, do try to take some courses or have a local dog trainer work with you. But also, Dog Talent Association has all of these tracks of attaining titles right online. So you don't have to like go out of your home to get this. You can do it right from your home. And Olga, I don't know if you have them, but if you have reference videos or anything like that to help people kind of get started in doing some of these tricks.
We're currently developing that because a lot of people are asking for that. And so
and then you can have like a tangible resource through Dog Talent Association of just like how to attain these tricks and attain these titles right from your home. So you don't feel like, well, I can't go outside of my home, or it's unrealistic for me at 5 o'clock after I'm done with work to go out and do all these trick things. You can slowly encourage and get that filmed right at the comfort of your own home, especially through COVID. So I love that because dogs typically are going to be most comfortable in their safe zone, which is their house. So start them there and try to explore like how you both can work with each other and some of these basic tricks. And then when it comes to doing some of the more complex tricks, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Olga or other dog trainers that you may know and say, hey, I really would love to learn the first steps of opening up the fridge and creating that whole chain, and get directed to probably some fantastic online programs. But what I would say to finish that off is when you start to see your dog unlock and think in new ways, there are endless possibilities of trick training at that point. So just explore, and trial and error is kind of what I did. I never had any formal school training. So for dog training, other than training Beasley in BFF Pet Services, which is now my family. But trial and error was really the way to go. And there's a lot of fun tied into that. So just be sure that you're keeping it short and fun for you and your dog.
Yes, I totally support. The motivation is the absolutely first thing. And I always look what actually makes how to engage the dog, because dog doesn't have to do anything for you. You want to encourage the dog to actually want to be with you, want to work with you. And it's not just about dispensing treats, and it's about engaging the dogs sort of really deeply, that they actually want to do it, not because you throw the treats, but because they actually want to be with you, want to do that. And we see as a sort of tricks as a bit of language. as you say, once you learn one word, that's when it's kind of like opening floodgates. Then you can learn to communicate with your dog on very, very different level.
And it also is super valuable for dogs who deal with anxiety or dogs who have behavioral issues. Trick dog training can be an excellent sidestep to kind of offset anxious behaviors or possibly other things that you're dealing with. And also, if you deal with impulse control issues outside of your home on leash, trick dog training offers the dog something else to do other than focusing on something that's scary or overstimulating. So if you're like, well, just tricks aren't my thing, I don't care about using a hula hoop and doing, I mean, that's fine too. But if you incorporate a little bit into your dog's life, you're going to help challenge them mentally more, which is going to only help them in their whole physical and mental being.
So, and it doesn't matter what sport you want to do, or if you don't want to do any sport. I think tricks is a great way to, yes, to stimulate them. If you can't go out, and also it's a fun. It's dog like tricks,
Yeah.
and if they properly motivated for the right reason, they will say, oh yes, okay. And sometimes they would ask to do tricks before doing agility run or something else.
Yeah. And it's been great to help with like rehab and things like that, like teaching a dog to do the fake pee trick. And then that's Beasley's favorite. But, offering, like teaching him the flexibility and body awareness of his hind legs. There's so much that can help in just even cooperative care at a vet, getting dogs' nails trimmed or anything like that, teaching a dog the comfort of putting a paw out and not just for you, but working with other people. These are called tricks. And so that really helps the dog gain confidence. And this is a trick instead of having to do a forceful kind of hold or anything like that to get some things that you might need done.
Yeah, and it's a very useful tool to rehabilitate the rescue dogs or dogs perhaps who had not such an easy start in life. So it's sometimes an easiest way to connect with them and make them sort of trust people again.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Chrissy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for meeting us today, and we will share this video on social media. And good luck with your journey to New York.
Thank you. And I really appreciate that. And if anybody wants to follow us more, Facebook and Instagram, we're the Chrissy Joy and the Joy Crew. So feel free to check us out and say hi. And I just can't thank you guys enough. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the next batch of competitors that come out for the next round.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, and we'll be in touch.
Bye.
Please just send your address.
I will.
Okay, bye.